In the vast cornfields of a quaint Midwestern town, a creature named Sawtooth Jack awakens each Halloween, embarking on a journey to reach the local church. To prevent a disaster, the townspeople partake in an annual tradition known as the Run. Teenage boys pursue Sawtooth Jack, aiming to eliminate him before midnight, with the reward being a hero status, a house for the family, $25,000, a car, and the rare permission to leave the normally restricted town. The ritual, excluding girls and allowing only one son per family, is believed to bless the harvest. In 1962, a masked group of boys ventures out to hunt the monster. One boy, frightened and uncertain, stands alone on the road. Sawtooth Jack suddenly appears, causing the boy to scream as he meets his demise. The others discover the burning body of their friend and spot Sawtooth Jack in the cornfield. Enraged, Jim pursues the creature and, just as it nears the church, confronts and beats it to death. The boys indulge in the candy hidden within Jack's body, celebrating Jim's victory. A Halloween party hosted by the Harvesters Guild follows, commemorating a successful run. Jim, the hero, receives his prizes, leaving his younger brother Richie yearning to join the run. Jim departs town, leaving Richie with a hug and an "I love you." The next year, Sheriff Jerry emphasizes the importance of the run, showcasing the consequences of the year they failed to kill Sawtooth Jack. Richie, eager to participate, faces obstacles due to the rules. Riley mocks him for wanting to volunteer, sparking a fight that adults intervene in. After class, Riley attempts to continue the fight, prompting Richie to seek refuge in a movie theater, where he encounters Kelly, a new girl in town. They connect, but Richie's invitation to the Halloween dance is declined due to racial restrictions. Later, Richie meets with friends Bud and Mitch, who share unverified rumors about Kelly. Unconvinced, Richie remains steadfast. Encouraged by friends, Richie decides to break the rules and join the run, fueled by the belief that he can surpass his brother. At home, an argument ensues when Richie announces his decision, and he escapes through his window to spend the night with Jim's ex. In the cornfields, the farmer carves a pumpkin atop a scarecrow stand, only for Sawtooth Jack to emerge wearing the pumpkin as a head. The next day, Riley beats up Richie, stealing his belt as a cherished memento of Jim. In retaliation, Richie defends himself with a knife, but Riley prevails. Returning home, Richie finds a letter from Jim, apologizing for the lack of communication and urging him not to join the run for the sake of their parents. Exasperated with the patronizing treatment he receives, Richie resolves to take matters into his own hands. His plan involves stealing a car and escaping the confines of his small town. However, his aspirations are quickly dashed when Jerry, the local sheriff, strategically intercepts Richie at the bridge. In an attempt to evade Jerry's grasp, Richie's escape is cut short as he is apprehended and rendered unconscious. As the night unfolds, parents throughout the town decide to take drastic measures to ensure their children's compliance with the annual run. Under the enforcement of their parents, the teenage boys find themselves confined to their rooms for 3 agonizing days. This isolation is not only a means to drive them to the brink of insanity, but also to intensify their hunger for participation in the impending run. Halloween night finally arrives, and the farmer meticulously prepares Sawtooth Jack, stuffing him with candy and liberating him from the constraints of ropes, setting the stage for the gruesome tradition. Meanwhile, Richie, awakened in his bedroom, is approached by his father Dan, who attempts to entice him with a promising job offer for his future. However, Richie remains steadfast in his singular desire to partake in the run. Ignoring the pleas of both Dan and Donna, Richie ventures out of his house, fueled by an unrelenting determination to join the annual ritual. Simultaneously, his friends Bud, Charlie, and Mitch strategize to gain a tactical advantage in the run by employing a truck, facing accusations of unfair play from their peers. Richie eventually joins the group, but not without encountering opposition and sabotage from rival factions of boys who challenge the perceived integrity of the run. Unperturbed, Mitch manages to quell the dissent, and Richie, equipped with newfound resolve, orchestrates a distraction to ensure their departure from town. As the group traverses towards the cornfields, adorned with masks to conceal their identities, they unwittingly become entangled in a conflict with the local butcher and others who perceive their actions as cheating. Upon reaching the cornfields, a surge of excitement courses through the group, except for Bud, whose past traumatic encounters with Sawtooth Jack resurface. A sudden obstacle halts their truck, leading them to investigate the road. To their bewilderment, the road appears empty, yet the discovery of candy near the cornfield fuels the assumption that they have successfully vanquished Sawtooth Jack. However, their jubilation is short-lived, as the monstrous entity re-emerges, swiftly dispatching Charlie and Bud, with Mitch meeting a similar fate. Facing the relentless adversary, Richie, overcome with a surge of fear and determination, embarks on a desperate sprint. His flight leads him to the discovery of an empty stand, where an unexpected encounter with Kelly unfolds, revealing her defiance of the established rules. Recognizing the need for collaboration, Richie and Kelly decide to pool their resources, initiating a return to town to procure more formidable weapons from Jerry's residence. The urgency of their mission intensifies as Richie catches a glimpse of his father, Dan, appearing distressed and seeking refuge at Jerry's door. Undeterred by familial concerns, Richie and Kelly seize the opportunity to purloin not only weapons, but also the police car. Their journey takes an unexpected turn when they tune into a radio report suggesting Sawtooth Jack's presence downtown, prompting them to redirect their course. On the main street, the town descends into chaos as teenage boys ransack stores, driven by an insatiable hunger exacerbated by the preceding days of isolation. Richie and Kelly, bearing witness to the mayhem, inadvertently cross paths with Riley, a tormentor who targets Kelly based on her gender and ethnicity. The ensuing confrontation becomes a turning point for Richie, who finally asserts himself, reclaiming his belt from Riley and leaving their tormentor subdued. Meanwhile, the escalating disorder among the boys leads to violence and internal strife. Sawtooth Jack, relentless in his pursuit of mayhem, targets another trio, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Richie and Kelly, grappling with the unfolding chaos, continue their dialogue, delving into Richie's concerns about rumors surrounding Kelly and his longing for his absent brother. The authenticity of their connection is punctuated by a revelation of Kelly's tragic circumstances. Her parents are deceased. As the tumult reaches its zenith, the airwaves transmit a fabricated report of Sawtooth Jack's sighting on Oak Street. Unbeknownst to Richie and Kelly, Jerry is orchestrating a trap to further manipulate the situation. Undeterred by the potential dangers, they forge ahead, inadvertently becoming pawns in Jerry's scheme. Upon reaching Oak Street, they are confronted by a horrifying tableau, an ominous statue drenched in blood and the sudden appearance of Sawtooth Jack. In this critical moment, Richie's resolve falters as he notices Sawtooth Jack adorned with his brother's belt. Kelly intervenes, discharging his firearm at Sawtooth Jack. In a frenzied response, Kelly rushes to confront Riley while Richie cradles the wounded monster. Jerry, orchestrating the proceedings, compels Riley to make another attempt. However, in a surprising turn of events, Sawtooth Jack grasps Richie's hand, beseeching an end to his suffering. Acknowledging his brother's plea, Richie, reluctantly and with a heavy heart, pulls the trigger. Amidst the aftermath, the boys seize the candy, and Jerry congratulates Richie on his success, oblivious to the emotional turmoil within Richie. Later, at the celebratory party, Richie remains in a somber mood, detached from the revelry surrounding him. However, his demeanor shifts when he sees Kelly, leading to a dance and a kiss, symbolizing their defiance against societal prejudices. Kelly discreetly hands Richie a gun, and the duo clandestinely plans to escape after the festivities. Post-celebration, Richie departs in his new car, ignoring Jim's ex's plea to accompany him. As Richie drives away, Dan confronts Jerry, seeking vengeance for perceived injustices. In a swift altercation, Jerry subdues Dan. Subsequently, Richie picks up Kelly, and they embark on a journey out of town. Unbeknownst to them, Jerry pursues them in a police car, instigating a high-speed chase. A momentary lapse in Richie's focus nearly results in a collision with another vehicle, compelling him to halt the car. As Richie and Kelly contemplate their next move, Jerry, wielding his gun, compels Richie to enter the cornfields. In a sinister turn, the farmer, previously concealed in the vehicle blocking Richie's escape, emerges. Richie's fate takes a harrowing turn as he is assaulted, then buried alive by the farmer. Meanwhile, Kelly, cautiously emerging from hiding, is discovered by Dan, who urges her to seize the opportunity and escape. Tearfully, Kelly flees town without further impediment. A year later, the farmer exhumed Richie's lifeless body, preparing it for a macabre transformation, adorning it with a pumpkin to serve as Sawtooth Jack's new visage. On Halloween night, Dan arrives addressing the monster as Richie and releases it from its grim confinement. Confronted by the farmer, Dan takes decisive action, eliminating the ominous figure. In a final act of vengeance, Dan instructs his monstrous son to raze the entire town to the ground, cementing the town's dark legacy.